Reality imposes just one condition upon you, and that is to be okay with whatever feedback it gives you. You'd be surprised how much of a difficult time we have, I'm including myself here, with being okay with the feedback of reality and the inevitability of it. We are fighting constantly with reality, wishing, hoping that it would change. I would say the only part of conscious manifesting is to be okay with whatever happens. And I know this sounds like a very esoteric, nebulous statement. I'm not intending for it to be. But think about it realistically, truly. Circumstances are never asking, first of all, or requiring or demanding that they be changed by you. You are doing that, aren't you? You want something better. Why are you arguing? Why are you rejecting a symptom? When you decide to sit and argue with your circumstances, you are arguing with feedback. Why are you arguing with feedback? I'm confused. I don't drink milk. I haven't drank milk, like dairy, in a very long time. I'm not lactose intolerant or anything. I just don't like milk. I never have, ever since I was a child. But imagine I was lactose intolerant. Me being lactose intolerant is a symptom, is feedback, is data. My body is letting me know that something ain't right. I need to change something here. Why would I spend time arguing with the feedback of my body? It sounds ridiculous. Why would I do that? When there is oat milk, almond milk, soya milk, hemp milk, why am I going to waste time arguing about the fact that my body doesn't agree with milk? I'm going to move on. And I'm certainly not going to keep drinking fucking full fat milk and expecting a different result. Am I dumb? That's the time I should be deciding, okay, time to reconfigure. Let me go get creative with my own choices. What other milks are there in this world that I can drink? I'm not going to spend time complaining about the fact that dairy doesn't sit well with me. Now, I know in the manifesting community, people would be like, just manifest that you're lactose intolerant. I'm just using an example, just chill out. You should go into conscious manifesting or do conscious manifesting or exercise conscious manifesting with the intention to reconfigure your internal state of being, because your state determines your reality, including your perception, your feelings about your reality, your emotions. Sometimes you don't even need the thing you want. It is a symptom of what's already been claimed. You are just reconfiguring internal material to your liking. This is where creative thought comes in, lateral thinking comes in. You start to use your imagining faculties and creative thinking to generate new ideas to deal with the ostensible problem. There will be a change in your circumstances, which then should be taken as feedback. You can either be okay with that feedback and think, that's good enough for me, or you can go back in and think, okay, well, clearly something ain't working. People have a really difficult time divorcing themselves from the timeline altogether of how they think they should have a certain thing by a certain set of time, and then when it doesn't happen, it just creates this regression where they go back to longing and feeling it didn't work, or despondency. It's not that it didn't work, it's just that you are too attached to a specific timeline. Hopefully, I am thinking, if you are watching me right now, most of you lot, you're not in any dire circumstance. I don't care if you're going to sit there and claim, yeah, but SP is a dire circumstance. And I'm not being rude here. I empathize with that. But think about it. It's not a matter of urgency. Why are you treating it as such? Why do you think not having a specific person by a certain timeline, a certain time frame, a deadline, I don't know, means that you failed? Why do you make it mean that? Why would you do that to yourself? That's a bigger issue of just self-chastisement, just feeling like you failed at something, you failed at manifesting, and then you regress, right? You regress to despair again. Why are you doing that? To be okay with feedback is to be resilient. You cannot be so perturbed by the feedback that you receive, so much so that it immediately shifts you into a lower state of being. I'm confused, like, forget about the person, worry about your self-concept. And I don't mean this in a condescending way. With peace and love, that is the issue here. Expectancy is different to longing and hoping. Hoping is a lower state. It's the lower state of consciousness. Intention, expectancy are a higher state in levels of consciousness. That's where you ought to be naturally, because expectancy, if I expect something, it is natural. The aim is not to force life to happen in your favor. The aim is to be so life can reflect what you are being, and the being is already in your favor because you are picking the being. You are the decider.